Hello, this is Michelle Barr. Welcome to Being a Medium. I am so excited. This is the first time I'm coming to you live. And I'm so excited to welcome all the new members. This community has grown. People are jumping right in and taking part. People are jumping right in. Hi, welcome. Come on in. People are asking great questions. People are all giving their input. And that's what I really want, is to have created this community online. Because when I was first starting out 10 years ago, I had a local community and it helped me so much to develop myself. So I'm Michelle Barr and I want to tell you a little bit about why being a medium and why now. Hi, Joe. It's great to see you. Come on in and welcome. Let me start by telling you why I created this group, a little bit about me and what we're going to do here. Because I've talked to you about we are going to be working as mediums and mediums in development. And it's all about mastering your craft, developing your practice, and also working on your life at the same time. It's all of it. And that has been my journey. I have been on this mediumship journey for over 10 years now. And I primarily started as an energy healer. And then my psychic gifts really came in. And then I became aware that I'd been an empath my whole life. I just didn't realize it. And I became more and more aware that while I was seeking out psychics, I was one, and a psychic I had been going to since I was 25 finally helped me see I was what she was, and I wrote a blog post about it. It's been a really incredible journey. I started by opening a local healing center. I had been a therapist, and I got rid of my license, and I got into energy medicine, and then I found when I started touching people, I started getting messages. But you know how those messages come in? I always tell people it's kind of like charades, the game charades. It comes in as energy, and we are interpreters of the energy, and we have to be clear so it can come through us, and we have to learn how to just share what we're getting, and then how to learn how we're getting information. It's so different for everyone. And of course, there are 5 different Claire gifts that we have, and I'm going to be talking about all of those and how they come in at different times. And I joined an intuitive development circle back in 2007. We met every week. Hi, y'all. Thank you for coming. It's so great to be live with you and this growing community. So we are getting started today. I joined an intuitive development circle, a psychic and mediumship development circle 10 years ago. And I came in as a healer and starting to really want to further develop and get control of the energy and the psychic gifts. But the person leading it was a psychic medium. So she was bringing in the mediumship parts, and it would open up for me, and I would say, oh, I'm not a medium, I'm a psychic and I'm a healer. And those gifts would keep coming, and mediumship has knocked on my door a lot of times. So I'd be working with clients and it would come in, but again, I wasn't fully owning it, and it wasn't my biggest gift. But it kept showing up and I kept being drawn to it. I ended up a few years later in another circle. The first circle, we met every Friday night for 3 years, and it really developed my gifts. Plus I was working. And so I was really getting out there and turned that into my full-time work, working with my clients intuitively and energetically. And then I eventually became a business coach and mentor as well. So I work with my clients strategically, because all my clients are psychics, mediums, healers. Yes, I know, sometimes to be able to find a circle in your area. And so know this, just putting out that intention, I want to find it, you may be connected. The universe can connect the dots. So give a very clear ask. And that's how I find circles over and over again. And then when you get to a certain point in your development, if you can't find a circle, it might be time for you to step in and lead a circle. So I'll plant that seed for you. I originally found my circle on meetup.com. I think they have it all over the world, meetup.com. And I found circles there. So a few years later, I found myself in another circle. And again, the mediumship was just really strong. But I was saying, I've got a really solid business. I'm really busy. I don't need to be doing this right now. And then last year, the mediumship came knocking again, 10 years later. And this time I was led, I follow my intuition, I take inspired action. I was led out to Los Angeles and to a workshop. And as soon as I got in the workshop, I knew why I was there. And I hired a tutor from Arthur Findlay College to work with for 18 months. I'm still working with her, and I'm going to Arthur Findlay College in December, which is in England. If you don't know about it, look up Arthur Findlay College. It is the college for mediumship and psychic gifts and training. And it's in England. Before that, over the past 10 years, they've brought tutors from Arthur Findlay to the United States. So I've trained with a number of them, as well as a lot of American mediums and psychics. So I have a broad background in that. What I really want to bring that helped me get really strong and clear in using my mediumship is the approach that the UK brings to it, and the background of spiritualism and spiritualist churches which use mediumship, and learning how to bring evidence in your mediumship. There are a lot of things they do that are great for training, the disciplines they have and the practices. So we're going to dive into all of that. And so know that I bring both the American and the UK, and really study and have studied with people all over. What I am leading myself into in this stage of development that I'm working on, and you all will get to follow me on this journey and see it probably later this year or next year, and that is platform mediumship. That is what I'm called to. I am already a speaker, and I speak all over. I travel and speak for my business. I'm a published author. So, of course, I've already been trained to the stage, so I'm not scared of that part. So, of course, Spirit's saying, great. And my soul's saying, great. Now you're going to be a platform medium. And I knew the calling, and I'm no longer going to say no to it. So I've really stepped in, and forming this group is my way to serve, my way to help, and my way to really come back into the mediumship and claim it, because it's been the silent part of my life and business, except for my clients and people who really know me. Yes, not putting it off while you have little ones and then getting called back. Really, it's come knocking and knocking, and it's always been there. And it's okay when you have different times for using your gifts and using them in different ways. I started out as a therapist, then I was called to seminary, I was a hospital chaplain, then I got into energy medicine, I got rid of my license as a therapist. So in every one of those scenarios, and before that, doing volunteer work in hospice, in hospitals, I've always been a helper and healer. I just took some very traditional routes before I stepped out on my own to build my own business, which continues to grow and evolve as a healer. Done platform mediumship and being a medium, yet you don't consider yourself a medium. So this is great because I'm sharing my journey with you live as I progress. I have enough to bring to you now. As I've been being trained as a medium, I've been training mediums and facilitating circles and training for the past 10 years while I'm also actively a student. And that's key. You continue learning and growing and evolving. I made a post when I started the group about taking you through the 7 levels and the 7 states, because mediumship is holistic. And I already see some questions coming in the group and some things going on where I really see where people are struggling with some of the real basics that are around energy. So we're going to journey through this over the next days and weeks together. Come in and keep asking questions, and everybody give your input, because it's just as helpful for people. Hi, come on in, welcome. It's just as helpful for people to see that other people are sharing their experiences as for me to say, well, here's where I am, and here's what I did, and here's what I can give you. So I love the community aspect, and some of my friends are in the group, being a medium, that I was in a live mediumship group and community with, and in a circle with, and they messaged me and they said, I love what's going on in there, because they're having conversations like what we used to sit around and have all the time. So I know what people are asking. So today we're going to start right where you all are asking. Everyone's asking about grounding, and protecting and energy and all of that. So we're going to start right there at being grounded and right there at the root chakra. And we're really going to get some of these concepts so you can practice them. One of the things I put in the group the minute I started the group was sitting in the power. And I talked about how it's a discipline, it's a practice, and it's very different from meditation. Meditation is great, and it's going inward. Sitting in the power is building up the power, and we'll keep talking more about this. Sitting, expanding your energy to blend with spirit, inviting the spirit world closer, and sitting in the power so you're able to get back into it easier and easier. Great question, Lillian, about not awakening your gifts all the way yet and opening yourself to this. Definitely, when I started as an energy healer and then I started touching people, I started getting messages, and then my clairvoyance grew. And so I learned how to develop the psychic gifts. And then when I opened to that, the mediumship gifts. It's all about practice, awareness, intention, and developing. So it's great to learn. I've had tutors consistently. I've studied. If someone comes to your area or online, and you can learn from them. So we'll do a lot of that in this group. And then I will also offer you all opportunities along the way, if you want them, where I'll be teaching and you can step into classes, workshops, private mentoring, whatever it is you want. So you'll have both, and you'll have the community. If you can find a local circle, that's a great place to go. Or like a few months ago, there was just a half-day workshop in a town near me, and I drove over and did that just to put myself in the environment and then to keep working on yourself. When we are here at the first level, this root chakra, this grounding, centered, focused and clear, and setting our intentions and working with the energy, this is where energy medicine and energy healing help me so much, because I've studied tons of modalities, because I am an energy healer. I love energy medicine. I've been aware forever that I'm able to read energy, manage energy, and move energy. And whether or not you primarily want to be an energy healer or do that work in the world, if there is a modality you are called to, I encourage you to study it, to start working with energy, because it will help you so much with this mediumship and with energy. At the very base, you are an energetic being in energetic exchange with everyone and everything at all times. What I'm seeing is a lot of people feeling out of control with their energy, feeling like if they open, that spirit or energies can just come in and take over or cause them pain or upset. And I've seen that a lot. And I had clients and people calling me, and they'd say, I'm in my bed at night, something's touching me, I'm overcome with things. It's all about if you're empathic and you're leaving yourself open. It's all about if you don't have control of your energy. And this one at first can be a little hard to understand. Yes, Joanne, sage incense gets you in the power. For me, sandalwood essential oil smells like devotion to me, sacred devotion. And when I smell it, I come back into that. When I put my mala beads on sometimes, when I hold certain crystals. We were in the group today talking about different tools, smells. In the beginning, I remember when I would light incense, it would tell me, oh yes, here we are. It's time to go into this space. And the more you sit in the power and practice it, here's the other thing. You don't want to be walking around wide open all the time. You're draining your energy. You're draining your energy. You're not meant to walk around and bring messages to everyone. You're not meant to let people siphon off your energy. You're meant to take care of yourself. It takes a tremendous amount of energy to do this work, and you're meant to do the work when you're intentionally doing the work. So another thing I said in the group that I really want you to think about is if you've watched any of these platform mediums or mediums, we have so many TV shows about mediums and so many mediums you can watch on YouTube, you can follow their pages. So be watching all of them because you will notice they're very clear. I'm coming into the power. My tutor, her name is Mavis Patilla. She is now in her 80s. She's one of the first tutors from Arthur Findlay. She's been there since the place opened. She studied under a very famous medium, and she drills it into us all the time. I'm coming into the power, I'm doing my work, and now I'm turning it off, and I'm going about my business and my life. And that's what you want. You're not obligated to walk around open. It actually will take a toll on your body as well. So do you see all the healers that a lot of times are broke? Or they have health issues, they have abundance issues because they're walking around being drained, being siphoned off of, giving their vital life force energy all the time. And it's just draining them. And that's why it takes a toll on your body. So here's another part. In the grounded, when we're going to first talk about that level 1, the root chakra, being grounded. It's all about a lot of us, and I did this for years, and I had health consequences. I had an undiagnosed illness for 7 years that finally went away when I got control of my energy. Just to show you how bad it got, I'm an empath, not understanding energy yet, and I was working in a psychiatric unit of a hospital. And I was very well known that I would go stand next to the violent patients. We were a lockdown unit. So we had people locked in our ward and they had all kinds of delusions, psychotic breaks. They were suicidal, all these things. And people wouldn't know how to say it, but they would tell me, go stand next to the agitated or violent patients and they would calm down. So I didn't know how to protect myself. I'm walking in there wide open, absorbing everything. And I got very ill and I ended up in the hospital with some life-threatening conditions. And it was very scary. And it was a wake-up call for me. So there were times I lived in my top 3 chakras. And a lot of you do that. And you're not in your body all the time. Mediumship requires you to be in your body, to be consistent with it. Just as you can think of people who live just in their lower 3 chakras and they never want to come up here, it's the same living up in the top chakras. There's this thing we talk about, spiritual escapism, spiritual bypassing, and I will talk to you all about those things because you want to live a full, aligned life, open in every energy center in your body. And it starts with being grounded and being in your body. You need this physical vessel, this physical vehicle. So you have to take care of it. So when we start out on this first level of the 7 levels, and it's about grounding, It is about what I put into the group today because so many people were asking about it. I have a grounding procedure I do, and I wrote it out. So practice it. It'll get easier where you can just do it. And I write it out step by step by step, a grounding visualization. That's how you can find it so that you see, because you want to anchor yourself in both Mother Earth and creator source energy. As above, so below. You want to anchor into both. You want to anchor and ground yourself, I wrote, before you go off into the cosmos. I have lived both ways and I have learned. And that was before I was doing it for a living. Now I make my full-time living and my entire life as a healer, an intuitive, and a medium. And I work in this world, so I have to protect and take care of my energy. But what happens is we get bombarded. Yes, we get overwhelmed. We can't be in crowds. We can't take in stimulation. So then we block. That's why you see a lot of healers that are broke and sick. It's a stereotype, like the starving artist. It is because when you put up blocks, you're blocking the good as well. So you can't let in all the well-being and all the abundance and all the prosperity. You've put a filter and a block to protect yourself, but it's a block and a wall, and you're meant, the law of giving and receiving, this is the infinity symbol. You're meant to always be giving and always be receiving. Some of us are giving, most of us giving too much. So I had to learn to receive as much as I give. And then there are people out there. I've had them show up in my community and in my world and in my life, and you have too. They will take and take and take and take. So it's about protecting yourself. It's about getting a new mindset. The people who have made it have been able to do that. They come in the power, they do their work, and then they live their lives. They have extreme self-care. They take care of themselves. Then you don't run into these things. So practice the sitting in the power. Practice the grounding. You can use that grounding visualization. I put that recording in there for you about getting into you energy, your own universal energy. And I put the free gift in there to start practicing the 7 habits of the highly intuitive and learning those things. I'll put it in the group, but I want to let you know too, I made a poster some years back about the 9 universal guiding principles that guide my life and guide my work. And you can get that poster free at 9universalguidingprinciples.com. And I'll put the link in there. You can use the number 9 or spell it out. 9universalguidingprinciples.com. And it tells you the 9 guiding principles I've used for over a decade now for my life and for my work. You are welcome. Thank you so much for coming in here. So before we go up and do all the other exciting stuff, we're going to start at this level 1. So I'm giving you some different tools, the sitting in the power, the grounding visualization. A lot of people, go read that thread. We were actively talking today. Someone asked about grounding. We talked about getting your feet and your skin in the earth, in the water, in the ocean. We talked about crystals, essential oils, all kinds of things. I'll talk to you more about how I follow the moon cycles. There are a lot of things I do with my energy, and I want you all to share what you already do that's working and then ask questions for what's not working. And I want to look over here because I wrote some notes and I want to make sure I cover everything today. So this is about, we're going to be in our body and we're going to be mediums. We're going to be in our body. We're going to ground and connect. That's how you keep the connection. For some of you also, I've started talking about the difference in reading psychically and mediumistically. And so some people were asking, one of the biggest issues they have, which I had, and I didn't even know it, I didn't even understand it. Welcome, come on in, is that I was psychically reading people, but it was mediumship information, but where you snatch and you just get little pieces, and then it's like, oh, the link is lost or the connection is lost. You're actually reading psychically, and reading mediumistically comes from right here, from your solar plexus. It comes from clairsentience. Then you'll use clairaudience, you'll use clairvoyance, you'll use claircognizance, you might smell stuff, you will use all the senses, but you're coming from your clairsentience. That's when you see the professionals or the people that are really good, because you're actually, this is what sitting in the power is going to help you do. So here's a motivation. It helps you actually blend with the spirit world, let them come closer. That's when people get a link that stays and they're not just snatching. That's where you're actually with the person in the place, the real person from the spirit world, and you're getting accurate information. And once I learn that, I'm able to keep the connection. Every time I find myself getting back up in my head, my tutor says, quit reading psychically, get back in. And I learned how to pull back down in there, and then it comes, all the information. So we're going to work on all of that. I want you to be aware of this. So do you see why you need to be grounded and you need healthy lower chakras? You want to have all of this. So that's what I'm inviting you to do this week. Read about the grounding tools. Practice the grounding visualization. Look at, are you grounded, focused, centered, and clear? So now here's the next piece that I really want to get across in this, and that is intention. Because I also saw people having all kinds of beliefs, and I want you to remember, and this is my belief. And so let me just say this, because you're all new to me for the most part. Some of you know me and have. It is that whatever you say is. That's universal law. Whatever you believe about energy, whatever intention you're holding, that's what you're going to experience. When you're experiencing where you don't feel safe, you feel like energy is coming to you or intruding on you, anything you don't want, that is not what you have to have just because you're a sensitive. And this is a big part about why people shut down their gifts. It's all about intention. I'm not science-based, but I love when science proves what I already believe and know. Energy is neutral, except for our perception and the meaning we give it. You are in control of your energy, and I want you to start getting control of your energy. You don't have to walk around with walls up, protected and blocked, because that blocks your good, like I told you. Then you have health issues, you have money issues, you have relationship issues. Really let that land, because those are so common in our world, and I'm telling you why. You want to be a healthy, wealthy, well-being, prosperous, abundant medium. The first thing I will drill into you is that if the highest good of all does not include you, it's not for the highest good. I'm going to really help you so you can live this as your life, whatever you want to do with it. I let you all know I train mediums. I have mediums as clients. Not everybody wants to do it as their work, but I don't want you living a life that is less than in whatever way you want to use this. And I would encourage you, do not give this away. Do not give it away without an energetic exchange. We'll get into more of that when we get to another level. So the grounded, so your intention, start setting intentions. This is your energy. You're in control. I love that, Stacy. Yes, doing this as your work, it's so rewarding, and we need good mediums out there. Do you know a lot now of the top mediums, they are booked. There's schedules. A friend of mine recently said she went on Teresa Caputo, the Long Island medium, went on her list waiting for a reading. And I said, how long was it? And she said 2 years, but I've already been on it a year, so I only have 1 more year to go. And I talked to a lot of mediums. That's great, Joe. I'm excited for y'all because this is a great life to build and to live. There's so many really great mediums that just can't serve all the people that come to them. It takes a lot of energy. You've got to protect your energy and your time, and you've got to take care of yourself. So more mediums, more mediums are needed. I've been using my voice a lot today. I have client calls, teaching, and now this. So someone was told they would progress for 5 years from another medium, but here you are called back. Yeah, it's a calling, and you get to choose. I chose every time I turned and said no until I knew I couldn't say no anymore. Just like when I started my business 10 years ago, before that I was saying no to that. We always have free will, but there will be consequences. You'll live and you'll get sick of learning those. Yes, Joanne, I still get that fear of being wrong or giving wrong information. Oh, you wouldn't progress, Alicia. Yeah, but here you are, and I wouldn't take what those people say all the time. Yes, I still have those fears. That's why sitting in a circle or being in groups where we can practice. So once you're with all the people in this community, there can be practice. You all can pair up. You can practice with each other. We'll provide, I have a Zoom classroom we can go in. We'll provide times for you to get in there and practice and get feedback and practice in a safe place. I still get that fear of being wrong or giving wrong information. And so it's just that continuing develop and trusting spirit, developing that connection with spirit. It is a spiritual journey that will grow you like nothing else. So setting that intention. Energy management, working with energy medicine so that you really learn all about energy. So now that I've planted that seed, notice if all of a sudden you get an email or a friend or you see in Facebook that somebody is teaching energy healing in some form, maybe near you or somewhere that you would like to travel, and step into it. It's a great first start, and it will really help you, because every time you go to study energy healing, some modality or any of that, you will get healing while you're participating. You will get the chance to heal others, and then you will walk away with tools that help you use on yourself with your energy. So I want you to understand you are in control of your energy. Welcome. Come on in. Anybody who's coming in now, as soon as we're done live, you can go back and watch from the beginning all the pieces of this. I'm so glad y'all are here, and I'm excited to do these lives with you, as well as the questions in the group and the dialogue and the conversations and all of that. We are building a community. And that was a calling that I received. And so I started this group, and you all are showing up. So the most important thing you will learn to do is to maintain your state. This is energy management. To raise and maintain your frequency and your vibration. I was on a spiritual retreat over the weekend, and we had an energy healer there, and we were having a discussion, and she was teaching us something that I know, and that is that when you make yourself vulnerable, it happens a lot with people addicted, people on drugs, people using alcohol, people in depression. That's why I saw it so much working in the psychiatric unit. People who are open and vulnerable because their vibration is low and their energy states are low. That's when other energy can get in. But know that any energy that you're perceiving as negative, bad, or evil, it's down here. So again, science, you don't need it, but science says energy is neutral except for the perception we give it. So low vibration, or you might call it negative or evil or bad or whatever it is, if you are vibrating up here and you learn to maintain, to manage your energy and maintain a high energy state, those energies cannot come up here. They cannot be a match. They will not stick to you. They will not come in. If you ever find yourself down in a ditch, down depressed, or even drinking alcohol or using drugs, and you leave yourself open and vulnerable, And then you have those experiences, recognize your energy had come down here. So the other thing I want you to do is fill your toolbox, and I will be helping you with things that raise your vibration. It can be sounds, smells, it can be sipping on your herbal tea, it can be a walk, it can be water. Have your toolbox full and always be aware of your vibration. This is Energy Hygiene 101. Energy hygiene and energy management. Super important. So I want you to really get the grounded instead of just, ooh, I don't like what's going on down here and how I feel. I'm just going to go way up here. Without a solid foundation, it's not going to work. But with a solid foundation of your lower chakras, your heart as the gateway or the bridge, because your sacred heart also resides here, and then your top 3 chakras, then you're solid with all 7 levels. That's really what I wanted to share with you today. If you have questions, come in the group. Thank you all for showing up and being with me. If you didn't get all of this, go back, because we covered things for the first level. And this week, really see, using those tools that I gave you at the beginning and throughout this, we're focused on level 1, the root chakra, grounding your feet on the earth, centered, focused, grounded, and clear. What do you believe about energy? Are you aware of your energy? Are you in control of your energy? I've got the tools in there that I mentioned earlier. Work on that and keep sitting in the power. Encourage yourself. Commit to yourself to sit in the power for 30 days. And remember, sitting in the power differs from meditation, and I told you about that. Thank you all. You are so welcome. I'm so excited. I really felt called to show up and do this with you, and you all showed up. So I'm so excited, and I will be back for more. Also, if you didn't see all of this, go back, because I told you a lot of you are new to me and my world. I told you a little bit about me and my journey. Let all of this just really sink in. Listen to it again. Really absorb it and see what comes up for you. Take from it what resonates and what works, and also notice, because I'm a coach, I'm always going to notice. I'm always going to encourage you to notice where you get triggered, because we want to work through that too. It's okay if you just say, I don't share that belief, Michelle. Fine, we're all going to build our own. Take from me what you can. We are a match. You showed up in my community. I'm not pushing an agenda on you, because this is a spiritual journey. This is a spiritual foundation, and we each have our journey with spirit. Thank you very much. It is great for all the things I'm reading that you all are saying. So keep bringing your questions, percolate with this, sit with it, practice it, and we will come back to it. I will see you inside the group. And remember that poster, 9 Universal Guiding Principles.com. Those are the 9 universal laws and guiding principles I've used for my business and my life over the past decade. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye.